Oh yeah, so it's been a little while since I've done anything meaningful or any meaningful content or really done much of anything and put a video out. There's some reasons behind that, but the biggest reason of all, and get ready because I'm going to share it with you, I'm lazy. All right, so in all honesty, laziness does play a small part of it, but there have been a couple of things that I've tried to do, and I'll explain a little bit later in the video, that have not, we're just so to say, not ready for prime time. It hasn't been something that I felt was worth putting on a video or worth sharing in the format that it was, and it just, it, some reworking needs to be done, some figuring out needs to be done, and maybe one of the things that I could do this year is those failures when they happen, just record them as failures and post it and show you guys and say, hey, look, this is what happens. I have done a video before kind of explaining how difficult it is sometimes to get content, and things do fail, and they fail as often as they succeed, but sometimes you run into a streak of several in a row that don't do well, and maybe that's what I need to do, is I need to keep on that journey a little bit with some of those and post that so you guys can see what happens, the bad that happens when you're trying to make good content that hopefully is watchable, and maybe the bad will be entertaining as well. Who knows? In my personal life and what's going on personally, some of you that may have been watching the channel or that have had other updates or watched other updates know that I'm trying to get over a brown recluse bite. We are at the very, very finishing stage of that, and I know I have said that before, but not too long after I said that, there was a little bit of a small infection, and we backslid a little bit, and we had to try a different type of treatment, and so, but now we're, hopefully almost done. I don't know how long these things usually only take about 4 or 5 months at the most, and here we are. It's a year, and so I'm tired of it, and I'm done with it. And it's the spider bite itself is not the wound anymore. It's the wound from what happened. And going through, and it's the new year, so everybody wants you to go back through and do a bunch of blood tests to make sure everything's fine, and now your hemoglobin level and your iron level and all that stuff are good, and everything came back great, except for I need to lose a little bit of weight, and well, maybe we'll talk about that in a minute too. But so everything else, I'm in pretty good health, other than the fact that I'm probably about 60 pounds more than I should be at the very least. So, but hopefully this is healing, and we'll get done with it, and life will be good, and I won't have to worry about it anymore. Fingers crossed. As far as other things, job-related stuff, as many of you know, I came down here to Tampa working on a Python programming language project that finished, and I was transferred over into a new group where I had to begin learning the AWS cloud computing service, and I think we've gotten to a point now where I'm getting close to being able to take over. Getting close to being able to take over part of that project, and I'm looking very forward to that. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of craziness, but it's been worth trying to learn, and I can kind of add that to my set of skills, and I'm not afraid to try to learn anything. But this has been a little bit of a challenge because it's very different from things that I've learned before, and I've kind of had to redo my thinking. But we're in pretty good shape there, and maybe by I believe the 1st of February is when we're talking about me actually taking some of that responsibility on, and I'm pretty excited about it, so good for that. Some things that are new to the channel or changing. A couple of these I've mentioned a little bit before, and I'll go ahead and mention again. Last time, at the end of one of my videos, I mentioned buymeacoffee.com. There are a lot of channels that have subscriptions or encourage you to go to Patreon or this, that, or whatever, and I'm nowhere near to the size or level of that, but I do have friends out there that occasionally wouldn't mind helping me out a little bit here or throwing $5 there or whatever, and you can do that through a site, buymeacoffee.com. So if that is something you guys are looking at for your own channels or your own things, or if you just want to go and check it out and maybe throw me a little bit of a tip once in a while, that's more than appreciated, and that would be wonderful. And I figure I'll start out small, and we'll see where that goes and see what happens, and hopefully good places. If we get to the point where we get bigger and we need to start increasing things and move to Patreon or some other kind of platform to help monetize, I'll tackle that bird when we get to it. But tackle that bird. I will get there when we get to it. Okay. We'll burn that bridge when we something like. Anyway, we'll figure that out as we get to it, and we'll see what happens. There is a new Discord server. Actually, this is the same Discord server that I talked about in one of my other videos, but I will put a link down there. It is welcome. I mean, everybody is welcome to join. If you have any interest in PCs, gaming, I guess even console gaming, anything like that, you just want to talk to other people, get ideas, or just share your ideas or cool stuff, pics of your PCs or something. I'll leave a link down into it. Everybody is welcome to join. The group of people we've got going on there so far, a really good group of people, and I'm just looking for everybody to have a place. It was suggested to me that we could do that, and so far it's working pretty well, and we need more people to come and say hi to us and come along. So use the link and come join us. Come have some fun. Well, you guys are the ones that'll make it fun. I can't guarantee you're going to have fun unless you try to. But I mean, hey, the link is going to be down there. Okay. If you may have noticed, I'm continuing trying to rebrand the channel a little bit. I am switching colors, design, a bunch of stuff. Part of that is for a personal reason that's very dear to me. Part of that is because I think it'll be a little bit easier to convert over to merchandise when I do get to that point, or make it a little bit easier on the eyes, a little bit more recognizable. And I think that it might be just a little bit better looking. And that's what I'm striving for, something that's a cleaner, nicer look, but still keeping ThatPaulGuy as the focus, or as the actual brand itself. So hopefully this will work. You guys kind of let me know if you like the old stuff or the newer look down in the comments, if you don't mind. I mean, even if you just go down there and either hit like, or jot something down, liked it, didn't like it, whatever. Now don't dislike the video just because you didn't like the branding. Leave me a comment there. But if you liked it, feel free to hit the like button too, and subscribe while you're there. So upcoming projects and things that part of the reason why I've struggled with making some of the videos lately, and the reason why there hasn't been that type of content, is because many of you know that I recently got done with the Corsair build. I was building inside of a Corsair 220T. It was an RGB case. I had some dislikes about it, including the fact that I felt it was too small, and the other little things here and there. Most of it was just a little bit too small for the motherboard and the connections. Part of it was the power supply was a little bit too cramped. It didn't fit in there very well. You had to kind of you had to almost take the hard drive cage out to plug everything else in, and then stick everything back in, and then the hard drive cage back in. So it was that I didn't care for a whole lot. So part of what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up getting a bigger case. Now this bigger case will house the X570 motherboard and everything that I started with the Corsair, and I might just go ahead and get the 4000 series case to keep everything Corsair and just step up to a larger case with better cable management. I haven't decided yet, but I think that might be the course I take, because I still do like the way that all the RGB and all the compatibility. So I might do that, but I'm going to move that X570 over to the new larger case. And my computer, which is right now the editing rig, is in a LEPA, or a LEPA, L-E-P-A, LPC 502 case, which is a good case. It's a decent case, but it is older now, and it's lived out its life expectancy. I'm on a X470 motherboard that when I tried to switch all my components over, the SSD and everything, over to the 570 didn't want to read the SSD in its current format, and it would not repair it. And so I'm going to move everything over to the X570, fresh install of Windows. That will be where the new 5000 series motherboard, 5000 series AMD chip or CPU when I get it, and the new video card when I get it. That's where all of it will be. So it might have to be in stages. The other part of that is I'm going to take the stuff that is now existing in my editing rig. Some of that stuff will go into the smaller Corsair case, the 220 case, and so I'll make a gaming rig out of that. And that leaves some parts left over and some things that don't quite mesh with each other. And I believe that is going to be my new server. I'm definitely I'm doing a lot of research on that, and I'm trying to figure out what the best way to go on making a server. But in essence, instead of keep on putting larger hard drives in my editing rig, I would rather just go ahead and put a decent sized hard drive in that. Put the big, I've got a 6 terabyte now that I'm working off of. Maybe go back to the 4 terabyte in my editing rig, and then use the 6 terabyte, or maybe do them in RAID or something, in a server, so I can pull files off, and I won't need all the additional room if it's stored somewhere else that I can get to it very easily. So this configuration where I was trying to stuff one thing or one set into 2 boxes, or trying to reconfigure and make it one out of 2 different parts, I'm going to end up now making into 3 different ones, and I will be glad to take you guys on the journey. So I don't know how well this is going to do. If I completely screwed this up, then I completely screwed up. But you know what? I think I'm committed to going ahead and filming that and using that as content, because you guys also need to see my failures as well as what I do well, because that's the only way I'm going to grow, is if I'm exposing myself and showing you guys all sides of it. I mean, obviously, if you're doing something the first time you try something, it's a failure. You're going to have to try again. So that's where I'm at, and maybe that's part of that journey that we're going to have to go along with. The only resolution I have as far as New Year's is concerned is I have to get out and get more exercise. I am carrying more weight than I should be. I am working from home. I am in a sedentary job as it is, because I'm a software engineer, and I need to be able to do something to get out more. I'm pretty lucky that I haven't really gained the weight that a lot of other people have talked about gaining during the conundrum that we're sharing. But still, I didn't have the opportunity to try to exercise more and lose any weight like I was hoping to. So that's going to be my goal this time. I'm not trying to set a target on weight loss. I'm not trying to set a diet. I'm not trying to do any of that. My goal will be to make sure that I'm doing something to exercise every single day. Whether it's walking, or actually working out on something, or swimming, whatever the deal might be, I want to do something that's exercise related every single day. And so we'll see how that goes. So a lot of stuff going on, folks. I will try my very best to take you guys on more of the journey overall, the good, the bad, the ugly, however it works out. And if you guys, let me know what you're thinking. Is that something that you guys want to see? Are you just as interested in the failures as you are the success? Or is there other things that you're interested in? Don't forget to leave me a comment down below on whether you like the new colors or not. And let me know what you're thinking. Do you like the new teal color, or would you rather have the old blue color? Well, the blue color's not coming back. Just let me know what you think of the new teal color, okay, and the new opening. And we're going to go from there. But as always, folks, you're welcome to subscribe. Hit that like button. I really do appreciate all the likes and all that stuff. If you have to hit the dislike button, I'll understand, but I'd much rather you hit the like button instead. And please do subscribe. It's absolutely, it doesn't take but a second out of your day. Click that button if you want to see content like this, or later in the year if you just want to see me screw up some stuff. I'm going to try to, we'll document it as best we can, okay? That's all I can promise. Until then, that's all I can say, right? So until next time, folks, that's all I've got for right now, so I'll see you later.